Welcome back, everybody. This is Pardon the Distraction. I'm one of your hosts, DJBLUEPDX, here with TheLostDrake, and today we've got our indie dev segment. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so incredible. You're gonna scream.
Did you enjoy the co-sex or what?
Nope, that's not the button I meant to push.
Oh, well, whatever works.
God damn it!
Look, we'll just bleep it out. It's fine. Everything's good.
Oh my God.
Well, look, you know what? This is the podcast, and you guys like it, all right?
Yes, well, there you go. Nothing says fun like a child screwing your shit up.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
So now,
Yeah.
Today so first of all, welcome to the show. You heard us last week. You can find us, of course, on all the podcasting options and opportunities out there, including the Googles, the Apples, the Spotifys, the Cylon Radio, and something to do with BMW or Tesla.
Sure.
I'm just guessing. I have a charcoal Sharpie that I'm playing with, in case you're wondering.
Fidget.
That's also what I colored right therein, and then I realized that's bad. Like, I was just playing around and not paying attention, and all of a sudden I accidentally colored the facial hair, so now I gotta dye all of this shit because it's stupid.
Look,
I don't know.
look, I'm just going to say this right now. Every single
'cause I have
person
a skin
here.
tag. There's a little thing that grew like right here. I don't know what it is. Probably cancer. Who knows? And I was like, oh, I'll just color it with this because that's a reasonable color. And then I realized now I've made a dark dot.
Yeah, but you can't even. I mean, you can kind of see it, I guess, a little bit. But let's be real. Anybody who's had a beard long enough, you've used the Sharpie technique to fill in a spot that looked a little too light. Everybody's done it. If you haven't, you're a liar. You're a fucking liar.
You're
a fucking liar.
Oh my God.
Except you get that shimmer. You know, you get that shimmer, and it starts like you get in the right light. It's like, what in the fuck is that?
Right.
Why is
What
your lip
happened
purple?
there?
What is going on? Don't worry about it. Shh.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's what it is. Nope. I fucked that up. Hold on. No. I've got it. It's
all the above.
Did you enjoy the co-sex?
Nope. That's the button I wanted to push.
Oh, okay.
Here
Well,
we go.
God damn it. All right. Well, that's how we're starting off the day. All right. So,
all right. Jesus Christ.
Look, we started off the first one very timid, if you couldn't tell. This one, we're going all in. Wait,
now we
no,
don't
didn't.
actually care. This is just the way it is. Now I got to save that profile.
But I
throw it
mean,
back.
but look,
Right,
here's the
override
thing,
it.
though,
There we
dude.
go.
Here's the thing, though.
Yes.
We say all the things that everybody's thinking, and everybody's afraid to say. And honestly, who gives a shit anymore? Like, we got to get to that point where it's just like, we got to stop sugarcoating shit because everybody is becoming a giant baby. Like, everything is so PC friendly, and everybody's like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Who gives a fuck? Like, you know what? You know, like, we're at a point.
Did it pucker? Did it pucker? Did it make you start a raps group that made your... Oh, of course Comcast is calling me now and their management team.
So that's a whole story in itself. Here we go.
Can we pause? Because... just give me a sec. Hey, thanks. Sorry about that. We're back after having a conversation with the wonderful people over at Comcast who decided to call exactly when I told them not to call, because naturally, of course, that's when you want to respond as customer service, when you set an expectation of high. We and our management team, who were clearly unavailable for 3 hours last night while you sat on hold, walking around in the cold, trying to get your IP address changed, because that seems to be such a hard task to accomplish.
Look,
I mean, for shit's sake, come on, people.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
There's
know
gonna
how
be
simple it is. Let's just. But you know what? Here's the thing.
Oh, here we go.
I just want to snap this, and it'll split.
I came up with a new segment too, by the way.
Angry.
It's called "Get Your Shit Together" because we've said that twice now. We just talk
Dear
about the things
Comcast,
like one-ply
get your
toilet
shit
paper and Comcast. Get your shit together.
And we're talking about. So let me be very clear. When it comes to, first of all, oh God. All right, how do I put this? I sound like a complete dick. I wrote the entire technical support training protocol for Adobe software systems. All right. I have been involved in training for technical support and customer service call centers with everything from US West to Quest Communications, Adobe, and Apple. Okay? All in my past. Jobs I hated. Okay? Because I had to deal with stupid people who didn't give a shit about their job. I don't even know why I'm bleeping. We're an 18+ stream. Who cares?
I want to bleep to sound important. Hey, you know what? Them, okay? How does that sound? All right.
So,
video games.
Now I get the call that, oh, hey, yes, I'm calling you back, really, because this is not 10 a.m. I don't know where you are, unless you are in Lahore, Philippines. It is not 10 a.m. here. It is now 2:40, 2:50 in the afternoon.
My commentary during this whole thing, by the way, while you had your headset off talking to them, that is definitely going to end up in a blooper reel because it's fucking hilarious. Your face reaction, and I was talking over why you were getting upset. It's going to be hilarious. People everywhere are going to fucking laugh their ass off of that. It's just like you were like,
oh God.
Why don't you walk on a treadmill with no socks in Legos? You know, hey, that's he said that. Oh, he said it.
To walk on a fucking treadmill with Legos.
And then he stops and he goes and he says it very, very politely and goes and just stops, looks at me in the camera and goes, I didn't really mean it.
Right, because naturally I don't want to be rude. Also, is it just me or is my camera suddenly getting super sketch?
No, you're fine. Everything looks good. Yeah,
does it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Because what's all right?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool.
DJ having moments. We're gonna have like 46 bleeps in this. Beep, we're back. Hi. Bleep, we're back. Hi. Bleep, we're back. Hi. What's going on in that podcast? Nobody fucking knows.
No, we don't. To put this into perspective, yesterday I got DDoSed, and I've been dealing with Comcast to try and figure it out. And it would be one thing if it was a simple solution. As somebody who's been a former network engineer and telecommunications employee advocate for, telecom safety and internet safety, it is difficult when you have to talk to somebody who's a tier 1 customer service, who's a complete idiot and doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, hasn't the faintest idea what you're going through, and definitely doesn't want to accept that you're smarter than they are. I get it. It's customer service. You have to do your due diligence. But when you set expectations with a customer, especially a consumer level customer who works in social media, you need to meet those expectations by following through. Show me that I matter as a customer. Show me that what I'm going through is important to you and that you're going to do everything you can in your power to help rectify the situation. Don't make me call your VRU, validate who I am through 5 different people in 7 different departments with 2 different transfers and 4 hangups. At that point in time, to be honest, my only reaction is, fuck this shit, I'm out. Which is pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah, pretty much. And not only that, they're behind the scenes holding this card up. They're holding the card up like this. Okay, if he's upset, respond this way.
Yeah, no, they've got.
I'm sorry you were upset.
You can hear them flipping through the pages.
Yeah, they're going through the pages. He told me to step on Legos with a treadmill. How do I respond to this?
That's not in my write-up. How do
I respond to this? Legos? What?
I get it. I understand.
He just made that 17-year-old kid meltdown.
Oh no, she's okay. I feel like she's in her late 40s, early 50s. She's homebound. And to remember, we're also dealing with customer service.
Did have the dogs barking in the background?
Well, no, but we're dealing with customer service during a pandemic. So these are people who are not in office. It's not like she can just raise her arm, flip her cubicle light on and say, okay, we have a situation.
We have a very hostile customers tell me to step on Legos. I need you to come over here. Patricia. Right?
I know. And remember, when I was working at US West, like one of our biggest things, first call resolution, that was the whole point of it. It was the whole purpose of it. Was first call resolution. So I knew exactly what departments to bring on board, who to grab, and who my contact points were in each of the pod teams that we had. Because that framework from US West is what's used basically in most telecommunications call centers worldwide, especially in North America. And it drives me nuts when you're like, I'll put you on hold and see if I can get a supervisor, and then it's silence.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And I will call it out and be like, here's the funny thing about the mute button. It doesn't actually give me hold music. And I've had to listen to your shit hold music for how fucking long now? If you're going to mute me, just fucking say you're going to mute and talk to somebody else to try and get an answer to the problem. But for the love of God, don't lie to me. If you lie to me, I'm going to be irritated. And that's really not going to go well for you.
Yep.
I promise. I will ensure you get coaching on that behavior.
I don't know about you, but I'm the same way. Like my wife, she'll call in all the time. Obviously, you know Nay as well. But Nay will call in and she's so nice and puts on her business voice and she's so polite. And things won't happen sometimes for her. And so then I have to get pissed off. And then I'm like, all right, fine. I'll fucking call him. And then I call him. I'm like, all right, I don't give a fuck what your spiel is right now. Get me to your supervisor. I'm going to be a fucking Karen right now. All right,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I'm about
to have a conversation with somebody important, and it's not you.
Look,
You don't
I'm
make
not
enough
trying
money to be important right now.
Well, look, you know what? It's okay. Like, you know what? Here's the thing, right? You can be a Karen when you've had to deal with it 3, 4, 5 times, because then you're at that point where it's like, all right, now I got to put my foot down. You're being dumb. Let's fix the situation. But, you know, it's the first try, and like you're calling in, and they're like, you know,
yeah, I was
dude,
nice
I worked
until they
in tech
hung up
support.
on me for the third time. Like, I'll transfer you through to the department that can help you now. Click,
dude.
silence. And I look at my phone like, the fuck, bitch? Did you just hang up on me?
So I actually have a funny story.
Use your phones that well?
I actually have a funny story because I actually worked in tech support, and I actually worked for DHL, the shipping company, international shipping company.
Yep.
So we got a lot of calls. Well, I got this one call, and I'm going to do accents and all because I have to do this, because if you understand the situation, and I tell this story to all my friends all the time, they die laughing. So so I'm like, thank you for calling DHL. This is, you know, beep boop beep boop bop bop. And they were like, who's this? And I stopped and I slow blinked, and I'm just sitting there staring at my machine. I'm like, sir, this is from DHL. You called me. Who am I speaking to? Oh yeah, this is Earl. I'm not joking. His name was fucking Earl. So it made it just like literally I was holding back everything. At the end of this call, I had every single person in DHL around me dying laughing because he got a package. He got his new computer. And he goes, "Hey, so I got this new pewter." And he called it a pewter. "I got this new pewter, and the coffee warmer ain't working."
I'm sorry, what?
And I go, exactly how you responded. Excuse me, sir, what do you mean coffee maker? Coffee warmer. And he goes, "Yeah, this goddamn pewter, I pushed a button on the front, and the tray thing comes out, and I put my coffee on there. It's not warming it up. I don't get it." And I thought it was a prank call. This went on for an hour.
There are people that stupid.
Dude, I went on an hour phone call with this gentleman. So Earl, if you're out there, I'm sorry. Put you on the podcast. You're famous now. You're welcome. But don't warm up your fucking coffee in a CD tray. By the way, no PCs have CD trays anymore because at this point everything's digital. But
not unless it's gateway.
Look, what does this little thumb toe thing do? Does this warm up my coffee? No, that's a USB drive, sir. Well, where do I stick it? I can tell you where to stick it.
Or
I can tell you.
We call it a dongle, sir. I'm married. I like women. That's not what dongle means, but okay.
Yeah. Does it transfer interwebs straight up my a-hole? Yes, it does. Goodbye, sir. Have a nice day.
I had a call that from. So
I love this. It's supposed to be about Indian video games, so we just went on a tangent about call centers. But hey, welcome to the distraction. Hey, we're here to make you laugh through the rest of the week.
So I was on QA for Adobe, and we had a call come in about a gentleman who's have his Adobe. He calls things, "My Adobe broke my PC." You're what? And it's interesting how these are all Southern people. My Adobe broke my PC.
Hey, anybody in the South, like I love Southern food. I love Southern comfort. I love living in Louisiana, but man, there are some people down south that should not own electronics.
So the call, and of course, this is one of the kids that I knew and I trained, and he's a bit of a smart aleck. So, Adobe is a company. We make software. Do you know which software it was that caused the problem on your PC? Well, I just know it was my Adobe. It asked me to update my Adobe. Okay, so are you using Acrobat, Reader? Do you have a subscription? Are you part of the? And at the time, there wasn't a subscription service.
Yeah, there's no cloud.
Do you have our Creative Suite for Photoshop? Is it which one? I don't know. It's the one that lets me read the PDFs.
The PDFs.
You mean the PDFs? Yeah, the PDFs. Okay. And that is what caused it. Yeah. All right. So can you press? I need you to press your Windows button. Well, it won't power on. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna take you through some steps here. I want you to press the power button. Just hold it down for 3 seconds. Nothing's happening. All right. So can you get around to the back of the PC? How long have you had this? I just got it. All right.
Did you plug it in?
Get around to the back of the PC. I want you to make sure that the power cord is securely plugged into the back. Well, I can't see back there. The power went out about an hour ago, and yeah. So let me go get a flashlight. I'm sorry. What? Power went out about an hour ago, so I need to get a flashlight
Oh
so I can
my
see it
god.
plugs in. And he says, "Sir, do you still have the packaging for your device?" Yeah, it's still right here. All right. Do you remember how it went? Get like exactly how it was packed in the box, so that way it's easier to get back to the manufacturer. Well, why? Is there something wrong with it? No, you're just too stupid to own a computer. And I, of course, had to jump in on the call and take over at this point. Like, hi, my name is da-da-da-da, and I'm with Adobe Quality Assurance. And I told our agent I would take over the call and handle the situation. It was so hard not to laugh.
That was the best part of working like telecommunications is when people would snap. They would read the well, it wasn't always like
write up my own agent because this guy was an idiot.
But I know that's the worst part.
Well, that's
you know they're dumb. You know they're dumb, and you know that they have no idea what the fuck. You know what? Okay, like generation gaps, right? There are the older generation that
I'm gonna get
like
in so much trouble for telling that story.
Look, you know what? I don't even give a shit because you know what? I'm going to tell a story about my mom and dad because my mom and dad are that way. My mom and dad, and I don't know if all of you guys can relate to this. You go to your mom and dad's house. Hey, I just got something. I got a new computer. Can you fix it? So you go fix it for them, right? You leave.
Define fix.
So no, like so say yeah. So define fix. Oh, open my email for me. Okay, cool.
Right.
So I open up their email. I leave. And then the next time I come back over, this is what happens. My mom's looking at me and she goes, last time you were here, you broke everything. Nothing's working. You broke the computer. You touched it and now it doesn't work.
That's not how it works, but okay, let's see what you're talking
I
about.
go, what's going on? Well, the email's working, but now I have all these weird pop-ups happening. Well, you were looking at porn, Mom. Were you clicking on things you weren't supposed to? And she goes, well, I clicked the things like the advertisements and everything else. I'm like, Mom, come on.
Don't click the advertisements. And also, please stop responding to people who are trying
not
to
like
help
that
find
anymore.
money in Bangladesh.
Look.
There's no princes in Bangladesh.
Look, here's the thing, though, is my mom, bless her heart. I love her. I love her to death. Look, I'm gonna go church. I'm gonna go church. Bless her heart. Okay,
Oh,
I'm gonna go Southern. Bless her heart. Because look, at the end of the day, my mom has gotten better with technology, but there was at one point in time that my mom thought she was in a relationship with Keanu Reeves because somebody on Twitter was talking to her from a fake account. Look, you know what? Like, anything is possible, okay? Anything is possible, but my mom literally thought she was talking to Keanu Reeves. She was like, Keanu Reeves is talking to me. I'm like, oh my God.
Is
Mom,
he though?
Mom, that's not Keanu Reeves. Look, as much as he likes to say breathtaking, and he's very philosophical, and like philosophical, I just made up a word. And yeah, so yes, all the above.
Is that like a sandwich? Is that a lamb-based
Falafel?
Falafel.
Yes. Look, a falafel. I don't know.
We're gonna open a restaurant, people.
Jesus
it's called
Christ.
falafel.
So we pissed off everybody in the tech support industry. We pissed off our moms. We pissed off. Look, you know what? That's what this podcast is all about. You got to talk about the shit that annoys you.
All right, so
indie games.
I'll let everybody know next week what
games.
Happened with today's phone call when it happens at 5 p.m. my time.
Oh, don't worry. We'll make some bloopers out of it. It'll be all over TikTok.
Perfect.
And we'll make shorts and put it here too.
God damn it. All right.
Oh my God.
So I paused my background because it seemed to have been kind of sketching everything out for a second.
Oh, you're fine.
Is it?
No, it's fine. You look good. I don't know. Yeah. You know, look, technical support, that's just what happens, man. Hey, look, you know what? If you want, you can call me. I'll talk to you. But if you tell me that it's broken and all you got to do is push play, we might have a problem.
My Adobe broke my background. I'm sorry, what did it
My
do?
pediffies aren't working.
My pitifs.
That's too close to another word. I'm gonna move on from that.
Pitif is a PDF file.
Oh God.
All right, so let's talk about today's show is about indie games.
And games.
We've got
in
some.
general. Yes.
Yeah, and games in general. We've got some great games to talk about, including a game I was working on until a little while ago. And we're hopefully next month, we're going to be having the one and only Lucklin FTW, Lucklin for the win. here. Big Ethan's going to be coming to talk about his game Insula Bounty Royale. They were just the recipients of the Epic Mega Grant, and I'm so excited to hear what the team has been doing, what they've been up to, and what they're looking forward to, and where their path is taking them with regards to the future development of this incredible game. If you haven't checked it out, you can find them over at insulagame.com or playinsula.com. You can also check it out at playinsula on Instagram, Twitter, and you can head right on over to the Discord at discord.gg/playinsula for more information about the game.
Yeah. And there's the spiel. Wah! No,
I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah,
but it's a great game.
No,
The
I've
storyline
actually
is
seen
ridiculous.
some of it from you playing it live on Twitch, and also seeing everybody like group up and do some dev behind the scene previews and stuff. It looks really cool. I mean, honestly, it looks very, very neat. It's very clean.
I've had a lot of people like come at us back when I was there's the community manager and working as part of the creative team, one of the creative producers in the game. It was interesting how many people wanted to attach other ideas to it. Like, hey, this looks like and reminds me of things like Anthem or Bionicles or a combination of the two. And what was really interesting is, as much as everyone were like, no, it's not Anthem or an Anthem remake. These were two people who started a video game and then started bringing, slowly but surely, a very tight-knit group of people into that inner circle. And it was wild to watch what the two of them could produce and create consistently and constantly. Now, granted, anybody who actually knows anything about game development, and I'll be honest, I learned so much about game development from being with Black Lotus Digital. It was incredible to see what they were able to do just with these two guys. And then you start adding all the things that Ethan was doing with the skins and what we're doing with the voices and creating and writing all the back end scenes and all the trailers and filming these things and creating these characters and all the voice work that I was doing. It was wild to watch as it developed. What's really fun now is with this Epic Mega Grant, it gives their company an opportunity to finally take that next step in dev work, to bring on some other people, to finally
Fine-tune
other
everything.
layers and that they've been wanting to do for so long, and now they have the opportunity to do it. In a month's time, it'll be great to see what they've decided to do and what directions they've decided to go in order to build and produce this vision quest that they've been on for so long. And
how long have they been on this project? Isn't it like five plus years now that they've been?
It's been multiple years. I remember seeing the original trailer that got me interested back at PAX South, and it was the last PAX South.
2019?
It was 18.
18.
PAX South 18. No, 19. It was 19. PAX South 19. I went to that one. I didn't go to East. East was the very last PAX.
Yeah, that was the very last one. We both went to South. We both went to South, and then East. East we didn't go to, and I kind of wish we would have now, because look at the chaos that we're in the world now with COVID.
Yeah. But it was really cool to see that, and I was really interested in it. So when everything kind of came apart with Mixer, and I got the call of like, hey, would you be interested in working with us on this project? I thought it was a really good opportunity. And what was interesting was being allowed to have such a great creative, expansive opportunity to look at, hey, this is what I can do. These are the things that I can help with. I found that I had a much greater interest in the development of things like campaigns and characters and stories and the voices and the backstories for each of the characters that I was voicing.
Wait, you do voices?
I do voices. I did Botbox, and I think I did 6 characters total for the game.
Because I know a lot of people don't know that you do voice acting as well, and I know you've definitely been doing some readings as the Joker, and that's definitely been taking off, and you've been doing a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I mean, as far as the game goes too, like, sitting back, and I can definitely see that comparison with like Anthem, because so many people wanted that game to be great, and that was a game that,
and it was visually beautiful.
It was fantastic looking, and you know what, we tried to give it as much love as possible, and they tried to do the updates, and there was that big excitement that they built that big studio, and they put 300 people on the project, and they were going to remake it, and they started releasing all these pictures. But here's the thing, guys, in the game development industry, shit goes on the table, and it can become fully conceptualized, it can be fully drawn out, it can be fully made, and then at the very end they can go, nah, it's not in our market. We don't want to do it right now. We'll hold this one, put it on the back burner, and they maybe bring it back later and be like, you know what? We really like that idea. We're going to renew it because it's the 10-year anniversary, and we're going to remake it and do all your favorite ideas, whatever.
Right.
But even so, like, it's sad to see games like that, and that's the bad thing about indie in general, is that a lot of them don't get the limelight that they're supposed to. And that's why Game Pass is so amazing. And I say this all the time, especially for PC and Xbox users. And even like Nintendo kind of has a Game Pass as well, and it's pretty cool. They have a Nintendo service as well. The only company that doesn't have anything like that is PlayStation, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But especially Phil Spencer, he just went on this whole rant about PlayStation and with summarizing what he said. He basically said, get your shit together. You better get on our page or you're going to fall apart. He didn't directly say that because he's professional at all times, but from the everyday commoner, and you sit back and actually knowing Phil Spencer and doing interviews with him when I was on the Mixer days, you know, he's a very precise talker. He's like Kevin Feige. Like, they don't say shit unless they need to say shit. And and this whole thing, though, like, indie developers don't really get that shine or that limelight. So like games like Insula or the new game Tunic or all these other games that are coming out, because Tunic looks really awesome too. It's basically Legend of Zelda. And you know, that's the thing, though. All these indie developers, they have their fan base. They have this game that they love. Like Tunic, you know, they love Legend of Zelda. If they didn't, they wouldn't have made the game like it, you know? And a lot of games get compared to other games. Like, you know, the big one for me is any open world looter shooter now is, it's like Destiny. No, it's not like Destiny. Or like Insula gets Anthem, or all these other ones. Like, there's so many games that get compared to other. So what do you think about Outriders? Well, Outriders is like Destiny, and if you mix it with Mass Effect, and it's like, dude, every one of those developers had played those games, guaranteed. Yeah. And they got influences from them. Nothing. I hate to say it, it is very hard to find an original concept in video games anymore. They all kind of follow the same guideline. They have a story. They have an emphasis of like what makes a game great. You have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know, and some draw out over long episodic adventures. Some drop out of DLCs. But the indies, they get one time to shine. They come up on the Game Pass, and you may download it for free, and you know, because you're paying the membership. But you get to play those games that normally would never be seen. So that is so cool to me, is the indie developers get a chance to make their games and enjoy them and get them in front of people. Even if they're free at first, they eventually cost money, but it's still like, and they're not always free on every platform, obviously. But, you know, like, those are the cool things. Like, those people get that time to shine. So indie games are very important in this industry. And I feel like that's where a lot, like, there's so many games that came out. So
and let's talk about finding new and unsung talent. One of the greatest things about working in the indie industry is that not having experience is in some cases actually better, because you get to learn the process, and it really shows who has an innate talent and skill set that is beneficial for what they're doing in the project. And of course, directors get a chance to actually train new talent and people who are learning these tools. And you also get to find those who have this absolutely bizarre, just
they have a grasp. They have a grasp on, like,
it's a bizarrely accurate.
It's like an artist. It's like an artist. Like, they can put something down on paper that nobody would think of.
What Lilithan does in UE4. Yeah. And now in Unreal Engine 5, I remember watching him first learning that on Insula, and his capabilities just exploded. And we all sat there and went,
what the hell?
How the shit did you just do all of that? And he's like, well, I was up one night and then I went to sleep a day later, but this is what I'd done. Like, and anytime you're inspired so much that you
creative juice is
dive
flowing
deep into what you're doing because you're passionate about it, it's important. It's important to take note. It's also important to find good balance, but it's important to take note because those are the moments when you realize, this is what's going on. And that portfolio, man, at some point,
is going to be huge. He's going to be making it. He's going to be making his own games.
Major studio. He's going to be making games for the rest of his life, which I can guarantee you. His mom and dad, Heather and Ethan, are both going to be like, "Yep, that's fine. We're okay with that."
Go to Bethesda. Go to Square Enix. Go wherever you want. Go work for Epic. Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's that's like, I mean, little Ethan is a prime example of an indie developer because he is learning on his own. He may, you know, and it's funny, some people will go and get the education and they get the degree, but I personally, because I got my degree after I already had the talent, and I'm not trying to brag my own talent, but when it comes to art, and developing, you
Right
have to
away.
have a mind. You have to have a mind for it. You really do.
Yes.
And art is subjective. Like everybody says, oh, you know, you can look at this and you think it's pretty, but somebody else won't, right? And that's just art in general. But you can tell when somebody has a honed skill and they're just naturally gifted, and they can sit down and they can draw something and make it a reality. Like, not too many people can do that. And like little Ethan is a prime example of that. Like, with even like the podcast overlay and the stuff that we've done, you know, he's like, oh yeah, I got a vision, let me do this. And he threw it together, made it, and, you know, we were streaming, we were live. And we're actually, right now, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it. We actually already are working on building an actual recording studio for Pardon the Distraction in Unreal 5. And
Right,
that way,
awesome.
and then that way we're actually in a recording studio in this scene, which is pretty cool. So those little things are going to be really huge for changes and evolution, and you got to stay up with the times, you know? So like us, you know, we're practical jokers. We goof around, but we're not afraid to tell people how it is, you know?
Yep, agreed.
And there's so many people out there that tiptoe around shit in this industry, especially in the gaming industry. And I'm sure every single person who's watching this podcast will agree, if you are a content creator of any kind or any facet, there is so much division between people. People either are one way or the other. They're really helpful and too helpful, or they're complete assholes and don't help anybody. And then they're the people that use people, and you know, those topics are very, very talked about behind the scenes, but never open in a public forum unless you're on Twitter, because Twitter is just a fucking plethora of diarrhea out the mouth. But I mean, we all know that. Twitter is the worst when it comes to that. Like, you go on Twitter and it's just like, this fucking game sucks, I hope you die, fuck you. And it's just like, dude, you're 12 years old.
My mom said I could get V-Bucks if I go on your comment section and say you're an asshole and I slept with your mom.
What?
And don't forget that your dad's a poopy head.
Like, literally, it's 9-year-olds yelling at you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's just literally 12.
If there's
or
anything, by the way, that taught me-
35-year-olds that act like they're 9.
Right. And if there's anything ever that taught me that community management is where I don't necessarily need to be.
You have to have a thick skin to be a community
dealing with
manager.
community management and the public, because that's when you really want to you find yourself getting constipated because you read the tweet and you're like,
How many times as content creators you're just like, you're literally like grabbing the nearest object, you're grabbing your Gatorade and you're just smashing your own face. You're like, God, why?
Right?
Why just want to rip you apart on Twitter, you fucking asshole, but you don't, because you try to be professional.
You can't. You
have to be professional.
You have a career that you want to actually survive with.
You know, I just read something about this too not so long ago, and I'll try to find this document again so I can post it up.
God, I feel like we're gonna have to edit this shit out of this.
No, we're not. Who gives a shit? But look, here's the thing, right? Like, I've actually read in a couple places that, you know, like, they talk about like one of the most stressful jobs, and in the top 10 is a content creator. It fucks with your head. Mental health in this industry
not nearly as much as being
insane.
a dentist or a police officer,
or an air traffic controller, or
also
like,
that.
Jesus Christ. So, but like, you know, there's so many people out there that deal with this struggle, and that's why, like, I love this podcast, because we're gonna get other people on here that deal with these same problems and these same issues, where they can get on here and be like, you know what, you little fucking assholes. Like, that's what we want. We want people to have a voice, to be able to come on here and be like, look, you know what? Like, I was streaming last week and this fucking troll came in. You're not gonna fucking believe this. F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb. Beep, 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 beep. And like, it's gonna sound like fucking Morse code. But you know what? Look, I'm military. I don't give a shit. I serve my country, and I'm allowed to cuss whenever I want. And when people say, you should watch your language, you should fuck off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that.
You should go fuck yourself. And while you're at it, no.
And you know what? Like, and there's a time and place for everything. God damn it. But just in general, though, there's a time and place for everything, right? So there, like, when I'm with my daughter, or when I'm with my wife, like, I don't have a filter either. But like, my daughter, I have taught her good and bad. And a lot of parents don't do that. I'm sorry. It's the fucking truth. They don't.
Yeah.
They'll go out into the public and be little assholes out there. And that's where you get these guys that go on public threads and Reddit and rip people new assholes. And you're like, dude, you don't even know the first. You work at fucking a gas station and you have no ambition in life.
As a Plaid Pantry employee, it doesn't give you a right to yell at fucking devs.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I met your 5-year-old son. You know what he said?
Hello, motherfucker.
God damn it.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I mean, can we be real? I mean,
Also,
this is,
I high-fived that kid, just to be fair.
yeah, look, yeah, I play with him in Fortnite every Saturday.
Right before he and his 9-year-old brother tell me that they both fucked my mom.
Look, I made
Awesome.
friends with them so I can get discounted gas at the gas station. Look, they're my fuel points, all right? That way, I just play Fortnite with them and I get
Do you have
discounts.
V-Bucks? I don't know. Do you have a gas discount?
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
trade. We'll
Look,
trade for
gas
premium
prices
fuel.
right now are astronomical. I'll trade you gas points for V-Bucks.
Gas prices put the ass in astronomical. Let's be
Oh
honest.
my god.
Jesus.
Gee.
Where's the show gone? We were supposed to talk
About indie. You know what? But you know what?
Dude,
Who
but-
cares? Because like I said, like that's what
Thanks,
this podcast
Comcast.
is about. It started with Comcast yelling at telecommunications, talking about Earl, talking about my mom. Like, look, it's just it's part of it. Hey, but you know what? The Cardinals are in the playoffs tonight and we better win. That's why I'm wearing all this, by the way. If you're not sports fans, I don't give a shit. I love the Cardinals, so there we go. But yeah, so go Cardinals. But yeah, so
I
anyway.
love the Rams because who doesn't like getting rammed? That's
And okay, so let's move past that. Yeah, we're not cheering for the Rams, okay, Cardinals. Don't you say that.
okay.
But anyway, so yeah, video games.
There we go. Let's get back on topic. Let's talk
I'll
about
get us back on track. Damn it, I promise.
We
yeah,
have
so
a Polygon. So we do have a Polygon article that we can post the link to. That will post the link. You just notice it down below in the notes here. 22 indie games to look forward to in 2022. And just ignore all the Joss Whedon references. This came out January 4th. So yeah, we've got a couple to talk about here. Any specific one that stood out to you, Drake?
You know what? Like, there's just so many games that are coming out, and you know, like even on this list, they have like Elden Ring, and they have some other games that are like I'm really excited for Elden Ring. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't even know if you really classify that as an indie game. I guess it's brand new, but it is under a big publisher.
Yeah.
So you know, but this has you know, George R.R. Martin involved with this. So
Yes.
So he's actually the director of this game. He actually came up with the story for it and everything else, and it's a multiplayer Dark Souls type game, which I don't know why I love the abuse of Dark Souls games. A lot of people hate them, but like I used to hate these games, and I picked one up. Dude, I used to hate it. I used to fucking hate them. I used to hate them. I was like,
never
this is
come
fucking...
so close to breaking a controller in my life.
Dude, my little brother...
I almost broke my TV.
My little brother was playing it one day, and I sat behind him. I watched him, and I'm like... And at this time, like, I was still in the military. I think I was like 23 or 24 or whatever, so a long time ago. But he was sitting on the bed, and he was playing it, and I was just like, what the fuck are you playing? And he's like, oh, I'm playing Dark Souls. And I'm like, and because my brother, you know, my brother's my brother. So anyway, he's just very down tempo. He's like a skater kid.
You're
like
self-loathing. Congratulations. I'm glad to know this.
Yeah. So anyway, no, he just sat there and he's on the bed and he's playing it and I'm watching it and I'm like, this looks fucking miserable. You die like every 5 seconds. He's like, the challenge is to get through it without dying. And I'm like, well, isn't that every video game? Like, why do you have to die so much? Why do they do so much damage? And he's like, honestly, it's all about dodging and parrying. And I'm like, well, so I picked it up, I tried it, and I'm not gonna lie, I smashed my controller on my coffee table, getting so upset. The buttons popped out the back. I had to buy a new controller. For anybody who has raged out hard enough and smashed a controller, it is the most upsetting moment in your life, because not only are you pissed that you fucking got your ass kicked in a video game, but then you break a fucking $60 controller because the fuckers aren't cheap anymore. And
No.
I literally like slammed it down and the A button popped out. I don't even know how. I thought they were embedded underneath. I somehow got the A button to pop out and completely break off, and the back right trigger broke. And I'm just like, well, fuck, I'm going to Walmart to buy a new controller. So I buy it, and I didn't play the game for years. I think I was like 30.
Wait, did you finally end up playing it?
Oh, dude. So I came back when I was like 35. Yeah, like that long of a gap. That's how much I hated this game. But I was
At
like,
that
you know
point,
what?
I said, fuck you, I'm off. I'm moving on with life.
Well, there was other games that came out in between, like Ghost of Tsushima and all these other games too that came out.
True.
And Ghost
Great
of
game, by
Tsushima
the
is
way.
kind of like a Dark Souls game, but a little bit lighter. It doesn't like hurt you as much.
Well, and there's a storyline that actually has a purpose.
Yeah, well, Ghost of Tsushima still is in my top 5 favorite games. Like, I love that game. The story
Everybody
was so
says
good.
I should play it.
Dude, you
Everybody
need
says I
to.
should
It
play
is hands down one of the best games I have ever played. Like, it is so good. The story is so amazing. Anything like feudal Japan, like I love. Like,
My friend Ryan, who lives up in Toronto, when I was up there visiting Minolta, I went by and he was just absolutely raving about it. He and his fiance they loved that game. And it was interesting hearing them talk about the storylines and that integration and the balance and how it's based on so many different I would say legends, tales, lore. The folklore
it's all built in.
and it's
Like there's
very
actual
in-depth.
there's
Very
actual
in-depth. Wonderful. I've heard
Japanese
it's a wonderful
legends. Well, and they just had a DLC come out, and there's raids in it and a bunch of other stuff. It's multiplayer online. They did a really good job. And honestly, like out of all the games that came out in PlayStation, that was one of the ones that I just was like, wow. Like, fuck Last of Us 2. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? That's the greatest game ever. No, Last of Us 2, like, it had some controversial moments, and it was, I don't know, it didn't have the same luster as the first game. And I know a lot of people will agree with me on that if you played the first and the second one. The second one was still good. It just, it wasn't the same. Like, you can only capture the essence of a really good game, I feel like, maybe once, maybe twice. And once you miss the mark, then it's all just downhill because you're just trying to rehash the old game and just trying to capture on the money. That's what it feels like to me. And that's why I don't like PlayStation, because they do that a lot. They'll bring games in and be like, let's just fucking bury this fucking title into the ground until it's just not fun anymore. One of the games that's outlived, though, is Ratchet and Clank. That game is amazing. It's still good to this day.
It's still fucking amazing.
Oh, dude, the graphics on the game were fantastic. But then you got like all these new developer studios that are coming out or going under the umbrella under Microsoft and Sony, and they're trying to basically build these like super companies, and with all the smaller companies underneath them, it's an umbrella. You know, that's what you're supposed to do when you become a corporation.
Can we talk about the whole like taking a title and fucking it up concept? And here's why I bring this up. So Red Bull Games, who I love their stuff. They came out with Outlast. So the original Outlast came out in what, 2013.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Outlast was perfect. It was survive, hide, or die. That's it.
Yep.
You couldn't kill things. You had no weapons. You had to be solid, sneak, find all the shit, and figure out the puzzles without dying. And you had to use the resources around you and figure it out. And then you could start speedrunning it, which is a lot of fun. And I ended up teaching a class on broadcasting. One of my broadcasting classes ended up doing speedruns. And anyways, long story. I'll tell you about that later. Outlast 2 came out in 2017. I just want to be very frank about this. Outlast 2 comes out, and I thought, fuck, Outlast was so good. I can't wait to get this. And I hit up Red Barrel Games. I'm like, yo, this game was amazing. Can I have it?
Romazing.
No.
Not amazing. Romazing.
It was romazing.
Romazing.
So, Outlast 2 comes out, and one of my clips had just gone nuts on Twitch. Red Barrel Games had hit me up and like, hey, we've got the new game coming out. Would you like to have it on early release? Blah, blah, blah. Sure. Yeah, great. Awesome. Here we go. Blam. Actually, I think I hit them up, and then they were like, yeah, no, we've seen you. Either way, they give me the code. I go into the game. I barely beat that game for starters. The gore level was so astounding. What fucked me up was in the first spot after the helicopter situation. I'm just going to say situation. If you play the game, you'll figure it out. No spoilers.
Yeah.
There's a spot where I walk up.
Side note, I've never played any of them.
I'm all dizzy. I'm all awkward. I get up here to this fire, and I'm like, ooh, barbecue. Except for it's not barbecue. It's the pilot's body who's been piped through his asshole out of his mouth. And I realize in very high definition detail. I'm standing there on stream trying to figure out what I'm looking at. I'm like, were they barbecuing? Is this a human sacrifice? What's happening? And I realize this motherfucker has no clothes on. I'm staring at his junk and it's on fire and dripping. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I like dick. I don't like dick on fire. I certainly don't like it when his skin has been stripped off and then the whole body is just a meat sack that's just drooping in the middle of a bonfire like it's some sort of a barbecue from hell. The secret's in the sauce? No.
Look, you know what?
Step back, capture what
I bet that made a good clip,
so
though.
amazing in the first. Oh God, it was. I looked at it and I looked at stream and I went.
You need to find that clip and we'll post it up on the Pardon the D.
I would
a short.
love to if Mixer hadn't deleted everything that we ever did in life.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So we digress.
Panda.
Anyway.
Yeah, right.
So,
Anyway.
but all right. So
There you go.
so I will just say this too. I've never played any of those games.
Oh, Outlast is amazing.
I
You
never
gotta
played
play
any of those
Outlast.
games.
Outlast is awesome.
But I did play all the Fear games, and the Fear games were very similar.
So good.
They were very
Fear was
similar,
so good.
and Fear was very, very good. I love that game, and I'm very sad that it stopped because games like there's so many games. Because I know you brought this up about Sneak and no weapons and everything else.
Yeah.
I feel like, and this just may be me, I think the only game that's even come, I can't even say anything that's even remotely comes. Where's fucking Splinter Cell?
Okay. You're not the
Where-
only one, and there are thousands of people. Here's the problem. Michael Ironside.
Where are the Sneak games? Where just in
Michael-
general? Where are the Sneak assassin type games?
Michael Ironside stopped doing, and so they had to replace the voice actor for it.
I didn't mind the new voice actor, by the way. I didn't mind him.
okay.
I thought he was
dropped my
good.
pen.
He wasn't as good. That's 100%. But
Today's show is brought to you by Sharpie. Just kidding.
damn it.
No, the new actor wasn't as good, but he was believable. And in Splinter Cell, I want to say there was not conviction, but the one involving the Capitol, like Splinter Cell's always been good about the fact that it's targeted violence.
Yeah.
As in, this isn't about spray and pray. Let's go out and just knock down the terrorists. No. This is about you versus an army, and you've got to figure out how to get to
How to
your
get the
target,
fuck out
get it,
or get the fuck in.
Save who you need to save.
Yep.
And don't get caught in the meantime because they die, you die, everybody dies.
Well, there was 2 games like that. There was
And you have to be smart. You have to be smart when you're playing it, and that's what I love. I got Splinter Cell Conviction again because I thought I would be able to play it in co-op, and the co-op was just broken as fuck on PC.
Well, SOCOM was like that too. SOCOM was. But did you hear that they're making a new one?
First of all, the first SOCOM I played was on PSP.
Yep. Well, the first one I played
fucking
was
loved
on
it.
PlayStation. Was it PlayStation 2, right? And that's when they came out with the
it was
modem
PS2.
for PS2, and they had the headset, and it was ahead of its time. Like, that was so cool, because that was actually communication with other
the
people.
throat mics that came out right
dude.
after that.
Yeah, dude. And they had the heartbeat sensor and all that other stuff. Dude, there was
so legit.
Dude, there was some cool
So
stuff.
legit.
Like, but
Yeah.
those type of games, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's so many great, amazing games that I know we all grew up with, and even if you don't even have any fucking idea, and you're 19 years old and you're watching this podcast and you have no idea, look these games up, play them, because I guarantee you, like, they're outdated, but a lot of them still last to this day. They lived
the
on.
graphics aren't the best.
Yeah, they're not the best, but the gameplay is amazing, and the stories are compelling, and they're really good. Storytelling has died in a lot of games, and that fucking sucks. When I knew Call of Duty was dead, and I will say this openly and honest, I knew it was fucking dead when they started taking campaigns out, and they were focusing on multiplayer, and that was it. Battlefield did the same thing, and that game is not as good as the past games. It's beautiful, but it's dying. And all the and BRs in general, I honestly think the only one that has outlived time and still going and still keeping high numbers over all these years is still Fortnite. I'm sorry. And Apex. Apex is actually doing really well too. And Apex and Fortnite both had the philosophy free. Here they are. If you want extras, you can buy them. If you want cosmetics, you can buy them. But they are free. Here's the new expansion. Here's this. Go have fun.
Yep.
real live world
I
events.
Completely agree.
And they are two opposite sides of the spectrum. If you want to play a BR that's amazing, Apex, 100%. And I'll say this, and I know a lot of people are like, I love Call of Duty. Well, guess what? You're one of 12, and
You're old.
And honestly, you just
One of them
like
has a
war
12-year-old
games.
too.
That's the only reason why they play them, is because they like war games. But we're also getting, and which is fine, because I love war games. I served in the military. I saw the shit. Like, I know what is actually real war and what looks good. The shit that they got now, they're just rehashing stuff. They have no original ideas, bringing us back to World War II. And it's like, dude, come on, man. You can only fight Nazis so many times. Like, it's just like, it's getting old. Wolfenstein, like, they revamped it.
Wolfenstein, I have issues with.
Wolfenstein reinvented it, but they went way too racist.
Yep.
It went way too, like, they were dropping the N-word, and they were, like, literally making fun of every race.
References,
dude, making fun of women. It was bad. Yeah.
Everything you think of to make them look worse.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We already know they're bad.
Yeah.
But when you take it to such a standpoint that and I don't know if we've actually talked about this on the podcast yet.
I don't, about what?
The gay thing. But
no. Well, I mean, you said you like dicks, so, you know, whatever.
There you go.
I mean, you were looking at genitals with a pike up its ass, so, you know, hey, look,
true.
once you go that far, you can't come back from it.
Once you go pike, you never go straight.
Once you go pike. God damn it.
No, that's not how it works.
And by the way, I just want to point this out right now. If you unfollow this podcast or don't like our podcast because somebody's preference or the way they live or their lifestyle or the color of their skin or anybody that's on this show, whether they're white, black, of any color, if they're gay, anybody in the LGBTQ plus community, I'm a straight white dude, so I can't really say much, but I will tell you this right now, we don't tolerate that shit. And if you even comment in the comments that way or act like a bigot, fucking kick rocks, and you can go on a treadmill, step with Legos, and at the end you land on a pike that goes up your ass.
Because if you say shit in our goddamn comments, the response is,
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Exactly.
Yep.
So, but even, you know, as a gay guy, I think the one thing that really,
Damn it.
there we go.
There we go. Sorry.
It bothered me so much. There was not only so much obligatory racism, but homophobia, sexism, and I'm not saying that that's not what the Nazis, I don't know what the Nazis were like. I don't want to know.
I don't want to know either.
But
I mean,
when it comes to taking a game that really, and video games have to consider when you're when you're developing a storyline, when you're developing an environment, when you're creating a nuanced storyline that is designed to
cater hate,
to embolden your character to be the side of good. There's a balance to that that you have to consider. Do you want that type of blatant hate and toxicity expressed via your game on people's streams? In some cases, does that not actually end up causing more trauma than it does healing? And I got to the point where I had to stop playing Wolfenstein on stream because I went, I told my community, I'm not comfortable with the language that's being used here. I don't feel like it's making my viewers comfortable. I feel like in some cases it's isolating.
I felt like it was against TOS when I played it. Like I played it and they dropped the N-word one time. I'm like, nope, not playing this. And I literally turned it off and I changed game. They're like, but we want to see it. I'm like, dude, if it's going to be that racist, I'm fucking out. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Morally,
I've never completed it. I could not get
I never completed the newest one because it got so bad. And then they had the one with the younger kids. And I heard that one was just as bad. And I was just like,
that one was bad.
But look, here's the thing, right? Like, I grew up on Wolfenstein playing it on PC.
Yeah. Remember back to the OG Wolfenstein?
Oh, yeah, dude. I went to my neighbor's house because I didn't have a PC. My neighbor had it. And I was like, oh, my God. And he would have to kick me out of his house.
On a monochrome screen and the very first RGB screens.
Oh, my God.
On a PC with a 486.
Look, let's just talk about it. This was the best part of Wolfenstein. When you would fucking kill people.
Oh, yep.
My face didn't look proper, but who cares? That was the noise. When you kill, like that fucking noise. Every single time you would like punch or hit something. And then they used the same noise in Doom, which was even funnier because I love that game too. And
No,
Doom did the
definitely.
right thing. They remastered their shit and made it awesome. The new Dooms are so good. And like, you know, but Wolfenstein went too far, like way too far. But you know, like there's so many games like that. Like those are games that have outlived time in different ways. You know, like Doom is like old school. Quake kind of fizzled out. I don't really see much of Quake. Like they need to come out with a new story. But that's where I was going with this whole conversation before we totally went off the rails.
Us
Is
staying
that
on target?
Yeah, right. But the stories are the most important part to me and so many people. If you do not have captivating characters that draw your attention in, and you're just like, man, I love this character, I love the story arc. You know, like I don't care if they put nudity in games. I don't care if they give them an M rating. But here's the thing: there's a time and place for nudity too. Nudity,
there is.
They sometimes do it as like a wow factor, but if it's part of the story, like you fall in love with somebody and it's like a quick sex scene or whatever, okay, cool, right? I get it. But when they make it where like the only time that I actually thought it was really funny is in God of War when you could play the sex game with all the girls on the bed.
God.
And you'd get all the experience
It was
orbs.
so hilarious.
Dude,
that I
because they
kept
didn't
doing
show
it,
anything, but
knowing
you
I'm
just
like,
see the
this-
bed rocking and you're like, oh yeah, because when you were a kid, you were like, oh, this is sex in the game. This is cool. It was almost as cool as Duke Nukem when you went in the strip club. Look, dude, I'm bringing back everybody's memories right now. I'm going all over the place. All right.
Listen, we're old. We get it.
No, we're not old. We're beautifully evolved.
We're
like
leveling
Doom.
up. And I really got to point this. Yeah, I really got to point this out for if for any developers that hear this or people who are looking to get into game development. Part of what attaches a significant community and user base to a game is that opportunity of immersion. And when you can immerse your players into a storyline where they feel the need to be on that quest, to continue that journey, to wait diligently, faithfully for the sequel, when you give them a cliffhanger at the end of a game, when you look at the way that the Halo community evolved and grew and expanded so dramatically from Halo 1 to Halo 2, and we had to wait forever, what felt like forever, from Halo 2 to Halo 3. And then we got Halo 3 and we're like, fuck, Chief's dead. Until we started with a brilliant campaign on Halo 4 beginning. Like that whole opening sequence where they started throwing out little blips and pieces of Forward into Dawn.
You know,
and they opened it up
can I ask you something, like, legitimately about Halo 4? All right?
Yeah, what about it?
So Halo 4, I feel, is the most controversial other than ODST.
Sure.
And Halo 4, I actually did not mind the campaign on 4, but that's when people started falling off of Halo.
So I loved it, and here's why. Because it was the way that the transmedia, and I will give huge thanks and props to Kiki Wolfkill for this. The way that they designed the structure of that release, you had all the audio logs, right? The slow build up for the audio logs. You had this YouTube release series where you got this quick glimpse of scenes that ended up becoming the Forward to Dawn film. But this is all leading up to the intro, because the Forward to Dawn film ends right where Halo 4 starts.
Yeah.
It is very similar to the way that Alan Wake kicked off when they had the YouTube series that led up to Alan Wake. Literally, the Alan Wake YouTube series that happened and released,
which also that's getting remade too.
Oh yeah, I think it's every other week. It was every week leading up to the beginning of Alan Wake when it got launched.
Yeah.
And the very end of the final episode of Alan Wake is the beginning of the video game. The video game kicks off right where the YouTube series finished. It's brilliant marketing, and I think in that sense they did a great job. It was the first time 343 and its team had been in charge of their project. A lot of them were part of the Halo team within Bungie, while Bungie had been working on Destiny for years and years at this point.
Yeah.
So they said, all right, we're going to sell you the 343 division to Microsoft. Go. Those teams members left and went over, and there you go. They grabbed new people. They created this new entity and started to really have a chance to do something different, to tell the story in a different way. And when you look at the way that Halo had been told in 1, 2, and 3, it was similar. It was linear, right? With the exception of what had happened in 3, when they took that sidestep.
Yeah.
With including the Arbiter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you look at how they changed the way the story was told. Then you go to Halo 3 ODST. Very different storyline very different.
Nathan
music
Fillion.
scene, very
Woo!
different escape, but it was brilliantly done.
I loved
in the way
ODST.
that oh God, it's
So many
gorgeous.
people
The
hated it when it
soundtrack.
came out. They were like, "This isn't Master Chief. This sucks." And I'm like, "Dude,
Yeah.
this game is not that. It's something else." Like, I've always been understanding of the gaming industry. Like, they're trying to tell multiple stories, not just one, hey, we're going to pile drive this down your throat, Master Chief, Master Chief, Master Chief, which PlayStation does all the fucking time.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, but they do. PlayStation does that all the time. They give you a character, and it's like, Avoy, 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 Kratos, 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 Kratos. And now, granted, they're amazing games. They are fantastic. They are good. And those are they're home hitters. Those are the ones that really make them a lot of money. So I get it. But, like, there's so many other developed characters throughout the gaming industry that just don't get the limelight.
Yeah. So I think what was interesting was watching what happened with ODST. They saw, and I Bungie saw.
By the way, we really like Halo and Destiny. I love Destiny. He loves Halo. It's about the same amount. Like, I grew up on Halo, just so you guys are all aware.
Yeah.
It's our passion. Like, we love I love Destiny. He loves Halo.
We worked with both.
We work with both companies. We work with Bungie when they were still with Halo. Bungie is an amazing company, and 343 is an amazing company.
Yeah.
And they're good, amazing, hardworking people there. I fucking love them there. So, yeah.
So I want to point this out. Like, at the end of 3, you watched as this emotionally led storyline comes to this opportunity where you've got these two characters. One is an alien. You've got a Sangheili, an elite warrior, standing there recognizing the loss of humanity's Master Chief because they don't know where he is. That side of the ship didn't go where the other side of the ship went. It got cut off. The Forward Unto Dawn is half of it is floating in space. The rest of it, well, it crashed.
Yeah.
You look at the heartstrings that were pulled. Anybody who says that they didn't cry at the end of the campaign for Halo 3 is a liar.
Yep.
First time they played it on 360. And
fuck, Halo
when you look at-
Infinite
and so-
story, I teared up.
yeah.
Fuck, dude.
So ODST, no spoilers, haven't finished it.
Okay. Oh shit. What?
So
what? Wait. what?
I'm
Stop.
taking it. Hold on. Let me finish. What I'm saying.
Okay,
and I'll
okay.
explain about Infinite in a second. So they took a different way of telling a story. They explored a new way of telling a story that was able to really grasp at a multiple different levels of heartstrings from people who weren't necessarily Spartans. These were ODSTs, but this was in a city that had been lost to human control, and you're basically trying to figure out where the fuck the rest of your crew are. It was dauntingly dark, depressingly breathtaking, and you have this gorgeous pseudo open world environment, right? That is their first time looking at, all right, let's see if we can do this and tell the story this way. They stepped outside of their comfort zone and tried something new to tell the story in a different way, which was gorgeous. They then came back for the final release, which was Reach. That was their last game. They'd wanted out earlier, didn't happen. That's a whole different conversation. They come back with Reach.
Reach was my favorite campaign.
And Reach is a devastating story that is overshadowed by the death and destruction of dozens upon dozens of Spartans and humans and the researchers and the scientists, and everybody ends up getting lost at the end to save one thing. And that one thing is the persona that balanced Chief out in Halo CE. And Reach happens in the timeline right before CE.
Yep.
It's Cortana. The Reach is the story of how Cortana is found.
And for anybody who doesn't know, Halo
the rest
1.
of these Spartans are all left.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
Yep.
They die on the surface of this planet. Master Chief's other brothers and
was
sisters.
glassed.
And if you read the books, this is all happening while Master Chief is fighting on the platforms above the planet's surface.
Yeah.
While this is all happening, if you read the book Forward Unto Dawn, which is, the Tales of Reach. Was it, or is this Reach? Tales of Reach.
It was.
The first book is, I'm now a terrible human being.
First Strike.
Was it First Strike, the story of Reach?
Yeah. This was the first book in the 343 series that led after. So
yeah. But
so.
I'm talking about the original one that came out with CE. So either way,
Yeah.
read the books. The books are incredible. There's a shit ton of them. They're amazing, and the lore is incredibly in depth. So that brings me to the conversation about what you asked me about Halo 4. I thought Halo 4 was brilliantly done when it comes to the transmedia design and the way that it was actually executed. But the way they told the story was, again, it was layering it in deeper, because now you've got Cortana, who's having issues. And it is definitely canon, because at this point, she's definitely having issues. And she had to lead into the new storylines and the new elements. Were there mistakes made? Sure. But Halo 4 as a story starts blending in those tie-ins with humanity. Humans,
God, I want to talk
people.
about. I want to. Okay. Oh God, I want to talk to you about
we'll
Infinite now.
Yeah, we'll do a whole. Yeah,
we can talk about that for a whole fucking podcast. Yeah.
So 4 leads into 5. 5 was decided to once again just do a split storyline, 2 different arcs, 2 different anchors.
Yep.
And a completely different balance of the outcome of 4 into 5.
I loved blue team side. I hated the other side. I'm just saying that's my
I could not. I thought so from a graphic standpoint.
Locke
I thought 5 was gorgeous. Locke drove me nuts.
I couldn't stand it.
Couldn't stand him. And when you get into Infinite, as somebody who loves open world games, I made a very considered effort once I got out into the open world to search and hunt for everything. I think I've probably got 6, 7, 8, 9 Spartan cores I haven't used yet. I've got them on hold. On backup. But I went and hunted every place that I could go and saved everybody that I could and did everything that I could before starting the storyline, because I wanted to have my shit
that's what I did
upgraded.
Too. Yep.
So when I got to the storyline, now I'm finally running the storyline. I'm doing one mission at a time. I want to play it slowly because I'm excited to experience this in its entirety. But also, when I get into these moments and these storyline elements, I want to search. I want to research. I want to explore. I want to hunt for the things that I need to find. I want to scan areas and look for those hidden doors, those little dark shadows that turn out to be the opening to a cave that leads deep under a mountain. And you find so many different Easter eggs and opportunities to experience and remember what made Halo so incredible to begin with. This is why I've taken that approach. So I have not finished the Infinite campaign. I know. No.
I'm not judging you. I just want to talk to you about it, because the end of it. And by the way, if you're not playing on Legendary, you won't get the completed ending. They did a typical Halo thing where if you don't beat it on Legendary, you don't get the end game cinematic, which leads into the next game, which is pretty cool. But
or the next DLC.
Or the next DLC, whatever. So because that hasn't even been fully established yet either. If they're just going to keep adding to this game, or is that the game plan?
No, they are.
Oh, that's what they said.
This is the Infinite's the next 10 years of Halo.
Okay, so basically they're going a Destiny concept. I mean, they're comparing, but it's the truth. They're basically keeping the same game going for a long time with DLCs.
They're not going to be taking away all the content that we already paid for.
No, that it's all no, it's all in the game. See, look, fake news. Calm down, Fox. You're okay. All right, look. So, but just in general, though, what I was going to say, though, is that in the latest expansion of Destiny, they did a big throwback to Halo, which was really cool. And I know I told you about all the weapon. They added Master Chief's pistol. They added the energy swords. They actually added 2 different swords, technically 3. They added the battle rifle. They added the Covenant pulse rifle. They added like some other stuff. But that wasn't the coolest stuff that they did. There's actually a spot where you can actually go to and find all the Halo skulls in an area in the game. And you go and find the Halo skulls, and they're actually all named the exact same skulls that are in Halo. But when they talk and they whisper in your ear, and they have a little message that pops up, and you have to follow the trail.
Oh, that's cool.
To find each one of them, and it tells the story of Master Chief in Destiny, which is really fucking cool. It was a huge throwback. And dude, and I know you didn't know about that, so that makes it even cool. I honestly think
I may have to get back.
Dude, I know. Look, I know. I've been trying to pull you back into Destiny, but I also said this as well. This next expansion that's coming out, Witch Queen, it's the start of Bungie. This is them. This is not Activision. This is nobody else. This is all them, and that's why I'm really excited about it, because this is the first time that they could show us 100%. Them with nobody outlooking them over going, oh, no, you can't do this. Not enough money involved. Like, because that's Activision in every nutshell. And that's the reason why the whole goddamn company is falling apart from inside out. And they're also douchebags to every single one of their employees.
Yeah, that amongst other things.
Yeah, among so many other things, but that's for another podcast in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's just look, look. I'm not gonna lie. This podcast is going to be viral just for the simple fact that we don't give a shit what people think. Like, that is the point of this podcast. The podcast is to vent about our frustrations, talk about the amazing things, cherish the good moments, embrace new communities, make new friends, and continue to be the voice that nobody else wants to say the things that we do. Who else is fucking talking about one-ply toilet paper and wiping their ass and their fingers going through poking their butthole? Who else is talking about looking at genitals and getting a pike up their ass? I don't know why they all keep going back to ass, but whatever. It doesn't matter. All right? We're here to have a good time, enjoy ourselves, and I am very happy because the first podcast, you guys blew it out the water. Over 1,000 views. We had 1,000 views by the end of the day. It was pretty crazy. Almost 300, 400 likes on it, all positive comments, not a single dislike, which was crazy, and that's because of you guys. So seriously, I know we took a big hiatus. This is season 2. Me and DJ are taking the reins. We're bringing some amazing, badass people on here, and who knows, maybe we can get some celebrities on here too that we are friends with, and we can get some people from the industry, people from Bungie and 343, and from WB and movies and TV and wherever. So. So yeah, we're super excited. So, but I think there's so much stuff we could talk about. I mean, this podcast is definitely much longer than last week's, and we said that it could be an hour, it could be an hour 30, it could be 2 hours depending on our topipic. But
depends on the day,
but this is like our conversations when we talk offline. So whatever, now we're venting in the public. So, but yeah, we're gonna have some good guests. And are we gonna have any guests next week?
Yes, we've got, so coming in next week to join us for our comic book and movie series, it's none other than Kick-Ass Jamis and the one and only Cup of Robots. We're going to be talking everything from DC to Marvel, covering Spider-Man, No Way Home. And please understand, there will be spoilers on that podcast. If you've not seen it, head to theaters now to check out Spider-Man No Way Home. You'll definitely want to see it, and I would definitely recommend seeing it in 3D if you can. You can grab it, check it out. It's wonderful. It's a great movie. It will be coming to Stars for the first digital release, so you want to see it in the theater while you can.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about that, and it's probably one of the best Marvel films I've ever seen. We'll be comparing not just that, but also the timeline and lineage and how Marvel is performing compared to DC, and discussing some of the possible game plan or design flaws in DC's current structure that may be causing some of these issues. Plus, that's a whole different story. Plus, more fun with Sharpies.
Yes, and then Peacekeeper, and that's a whole nother subject.
Oh God, yeah.
That intro, oof.
I have yet to see Peacekeeper. That's what I'm supposed to start
Dude,
tonight.
please, okay, look, just watch the first 3 episodes so we can talk about this, because you're gonna watch this to be like, what in the fuck did I just watch?
I saw an interview with John Cena. He's so excited about it. He had so much fun
he's
making it.
definitely enjoying it, but it's so fucking weird, dude. Like we'll talk about it.
He said they let him play and just be himself.
Oh,
like,
if that's his self, then we are in a weird world.
We are in a weird world.
Yeah,
but it's also.
I mean, he's wearing
John
a toilet
Cena,
bowl on his head, so whatever.
I mean, why not?
So
like.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, honestly, we got so much to talk about. We got movies, we got everything else. So yeah, we'll figure out like who we're gonna have on the show. We'll definitely make sure we post it up on TikTok and also on Twitter and everywhere else. And we'll make some cool shorts out of this podcast as well. Put them up to give you guys a little bit of stuff in between. But as always, the podcast goes live on Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every single week. And we're just going to keep the ball rolling. We have so much to talk about over the next this year is going to be crazy. And hopefully, things will still keep moving forward. I was just approved for media for Pardon the Distraction, and also for my personal brand as well, The Lost Drake. So if that still happens, we may go to PAX and get some coverage there, which would be cool.
Oh, shit. PAX East?
But yeah, so I don't know if it's still going to happen, though, because, I mean, E3 just got canceled, unfortunately, which I'm very sad about.
I have a feeling PAX East is probably also going to go the same way.
Yeah, I have a feeling too, so I don't want to get my hopes up. But either way, we're going to try to make sure we give you guys live coverage of E3 because they're going to do some kind of media event. We'll talk about all the games that come out, things that were announced, and that podcast will probably be like 3 hours because there's going to be too much to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But even so, like, this point is to make sure that we get as much out there for you guys to absorb the knowledge, details, get a good laugh, and have a good time. So everybody who's already tuned in and liked the channel, thank you so much. If you guys haven't subbed or liked the video or checked out last week's episode, please make sure you guys do it. It's just as funny. It was an introduction into who we are, and we're going to keep that momentum going well into the new year. So, I mean, pretty much that's a wrap for this week. For the most part,
Yeah.
we can keep going. So I want to cut us off so we can have more to talk about next week too.
Absolutely.
But I greatly appreciate you guys. Again, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow the Pardon the Distraction on all social media platforms. We are literally Pardon the D, which it's not Pardon the Distraction, it's at Pardon the D because distraction was too long. So Pardon the D, which is even funnier. It's everywhere on all social media. And then Pardon the Distraction here on YouTube. Make sure you guys, again, follow, like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know other things that you guys want to talk about.
Oh my God, not what I expected to wake up to this morning. When we recorded our show yesterday, the last thing that I expected to have to do is to wake up to Drake calling me like, bitch, get on camera, we gotta do this shit. And I want like, oh God.
Yeah, pretty much. We woke up to our phones blowing up and
exploding at asshole hours of the morning.
I went to bed at 5 o'clock because, I was up building stuff and doing graphic design and getting ready, and we were editing the video from
Dragon
yesterday.
Scales.
Oh,
Dragon
nice.
Scales.
This is going to give me dragon scales. This and advanced GG. But it'll get me going.
All right, so let's talk about the realism of what just happened. So we ended yesterday's podcast not really understanding what was about to drop this morning. I'm sorry, people. I threw my contacts in, I took a poop, and then I poured coffee and came downstairs.
I pooped too. That was the first thing I did. I woke up. Nay was like, "Oh my God, look at this! Look, did you see what happened?" I'm like, "Huh?"
I had 15 messages on Facebook, like 30 messages on Discord and Instagram. I haven't even gone through Instagram yet.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. For those of you, we talked a little bit earlier in the show about the shithole company that is Activision.
Yeah.
Well,
We did.
apparently Phil Spencer decided in his grand wisdom that, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go ahead and say, these people, buy out Activision and Blizzard for nearly $70 billion. First off, Mixer
billion.
was expensive. Mixer was expensive, but you can blow $70 billion on this dumbass motherfuckers. Fine. That's fine. That's fine. You want to support Bobby Kotick? Go for it. I'm not bitter. I'm just angry.
So angry.
Hey, you know what's even more disturbing is Ninja was the same cost as one of those companies that they just acquired.
Just one.
So, hey, look, you know what?
Just
But you know what though, Ninja.
The one.
I mean, look, you can't hate on Ninja. He made out like a bandit.
I
but
mean,
all of us smaller streamers, we all got a little pooped on a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna do?
So let's talk about the big asshole in the barrel. First of all, God damn it, it's way too fucking early for me to be up without a shower and still drinking coffee.
This is the life of a podcast, man. We gotta
Clearly.
give the best news. I have a feeling we're even gonna launch this today because we have to. We have to get this news out.
We might have to just kick this out. All right, here's the thing.
Yeah.
So, $68.7 billion deal finalized in 2023. That includes everything from Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch. It is Activision Blizzard's combo pack. And
Diablo.
It's wonderful because from what we understand from the back end, and this comes from private channels that we've confirmed from two different sources, luckily, the misogynist and extraordinary failure as a CEO, Bobby Kotick, will hopefully be out ASAP once the deal is done.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, Phil Spencer is being extraordinarily, he's being an advocate for change.
Yeah.
Pushing a 70% female leadership, and really, that from what I understand, Don't quote me on this. That's what I was told. Which is a good sign. It's a good sign to see change happening, especially with this. But here's the fun part. When you look at the overall catalog of available games coming through Game Pass, coming through everything else, that is, oh God. It's that early.
You need some advanced GG in your life, man.
There you go. When you look at the overall catalog of what's about to be offered, both from Game Pass for PC, Game Pass Ultimate, and Game Pass for your Xboxes, whether you're running it through the Microsoft Store, cloud gaming, this changes the entire nature of that cross-platform opportunity and the availability of a multitude of games for Xbox and PC game users across multiple different platforms.
Yeah.
Now, how angry is this going to make Sony? Well, it's a good question. Here's my response to that. I don't think that they actually give a fuck because they can't comprehend what just happened. They're still over there thinking like,
well,
Oh my God, did they just take our shit? They just took our shit. Who took our shit? Who was watching the lunchroom? But Dad, God, you were the one who was supposed to watch your lunchroom. Now I don't have my Call of Duties. Why am I not getting all of my Call of Duties? Where are my extraordinary exclusives? Where are they?
I don't know, PlayStation players, figure your ass out and ask me tell me later.
Didn't you know we were sitting at the board meeting this morning at PlayStation and Sony, and we were like, look, hey, hey guys, we're gonna get out this Game Pass equivalent, and we're gonna have all these first-person titles, and we're gonna match Xbox. What the fuck? They just bought Activision. We're fucked. Yeah, basically
that's how the meeting just went.
Fire, and now everything is flaming. What is this? Flames.
Yeah, literally, they're just sitting there sipping a cup of coffee in flaming room, like that dog meme. Just like,
you realize how many mugs were dropped at Sony's board meeting when this shit dropped down? They're like, what the fuck?
Well, you know why this is such a big, I mean, honestly, without Phil Spencer saying, it's a big fuck you to Sony and PlayStation because
they need to catch the fuck up.
How many years has Sony said that they're the better system, that they've got more first-person titles, that they have this? And I'm not trying to fuel the console war. That's what Phil Spencer is trying to break down. He's trying to get rid of that. And right now, there is no other company in the industry that has this many mainstream publishers and developers under one wing. There is not one. Phil Spencer did all of this. You know how big this is? This is like when Disney bought Star Wars, when they bought Marvel. Yeah. That's how big this is, guys. For anybody who doesn't know how huge this is.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Well, you know what? Look, and I will still say this today. Mixer was fucking fantastic. But you know what? But you know the reason why it didn't succeed? Because of the content creators, to be honest, because too many were bitchy and causing trouble, and there was so much bullshit happening at the end of Mixer. It was just disgusting. It was disgusting, and it wasn't
led leadership.
Yeah,
but
well,
let's get
story.
Back to Xbox. So, Phil Spencer has managed not only to bring on Bethesda, a year ago, year and a half ago,
and then Bethesda. Beginning of this month, Ubisoft Plus was added to Game Pass.
Yes, which. Is that a sign? I'm gonna ask the baiting questions.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a sign? Is that something that we need to be looking at in the future? Is it possible that Ubisoft could be in the process of potentially partnering with the largest conglomerate game studio in the world right now?
Yep.
So you've got all these different, beautiful, breathtaking titles, incredible imaginations across multitudes of generations of people that have been played since the dawn of video games started, are now under mostly one house. You've got Nintendo with Bandai Namco. You've got Sony. And then you've got Microsoft Game Studios that now includes Bethesda and now includes Activision Blizzard. And that's just the beginning. There are so many different opportunities. When I think back and look at all of the things we did with Outpost Discovery, imagine what we could do using the framework that we built when we made Outpost Discovery to create Microsoft Game Studios Expo. And yes,
E3 is going to be a different place, man.
I'm putting this on podcast because that's my idea.
Well,
anybody who tries to pull that off as theirs, I came up with that idea years ago.
So here, look, I'm gonna say this right now, and you know what? You're probably not too far off, and I'm too tired to even care that my camera is blurry right
Why
now.
the fuck is this
I don't
all
even give a
happening so
shit.
early
So
in
you
the
guys
day?
are gonna have to deal with it. You guys will get the audio if you're listening to it on the podcast anywhere else. But I woke up to a couple messages. I got some people that work in the industry. I'm not going to reveal any of those names because obviously NDAs and whatnot, and I don't want them to get in trouble. But I do have some insider scoop information, and I've heard a couple things from a couple different people. Little birdies be tweeting. Let's just say that. So basically, what I have heard is obviously there is going to be big repercussions in the industry for this for a lot of other companies. I think Nintendo will always be fine. Nintendo does its own thing. It has nothing to work with, and it's willing to work with Microsoft and Xbox. So they will always have a good relationship. And they were smart. They had their own individual, like Nintendo-style Game Pass. They did their own thing. They stay under the radar. They stay out of the media. They really just do their own thing. And Nintendo's always been great about that. Sony, on the other hand, is in a whirlwind of shit right now. And this is the reason why I say this. One, everybody's like, and all you PlayStation fanboys out there, you can have your adaptive controller. Because guess what? Xbox has already patented a new one, and it's probably coming out probably next year. I wouldn't even be surprised. All right, the adaptive controllers and all that stuff. Or sooner, yeah. You know what? Like, a controller does not make a system, all right? It has already been proven that the Series X is more powerful than the PlayStation 5. Visually, they look very similar. You can't...
Xbox doesn't have it. God of War.
Well, look, okay, well, it's on PC now, so it doesn't matter.
No, that's where I was hoping you would go.
Yeah. So just in general, here's the thing. Like, they tried to open up the horizon and say, hey, we're going to release this to PC so more people can get our games in their hands. Well, guess what? You dropped the ball fucking 5 years late. Xbox was already doing that. And people can bat me in the face and write negative reviews and shit talk this channel all you want, but the facts are there. Okay, you can see what Microsoft, they've been playing the long game, not the short game like Sony. Oh, cool, you won PlayStation 3, you won PlayStation 4 console wars. Well, that whole time they've been working on this strategy of bringing everybody together. And that's through Xbox Cloud, which is revolutionary. Now they're starting to dive into the metaverse, which is going to be even crazier. They're diving into so many other categories where you can play no matter what generation. If you have an Xbox One first gen, and you have good internet, you can play Series X games as long as your internet is good. They give you the opportunity, where PlayStation's like, hey, guess what? You can't get our systems anywhere unless you pay $1,200 from scalpers. And also, too, you have to go out and buy the new system every single time, because if you don't, you're not going to get the best graphics. Microsoft went away with that. Xbox went away with that. They're like, hey, it doesn't matter where you play. You do what you want. And you do what you love. Now that they have bought one of the biggest, if not still the biggest, MMO in the world, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Overwatch.
Well, the StarCraft thing is huge.
And StarCraft, they stopped making games. There was no rumor of any new games. They said they were done with the franchise. But do you think Microsoft is going to let that happen? Fuck no. Because you know why? They based Halo Wars off of StarCraft and Civilization. So do you think they're going to be like, we already got a company that can knock these fucking over-the-top strategy-type games out. They're going to be like, oh, here's StarCraft 4. Boom! You know what? They couldn't do it under the Activision belt, but now we can do it as Xbox, and that makes them look like fucking rock stars. Diablo 4 is coming out in a year or more. You know, we got Starfield, we got Bethesda, all these games. There is nobody in the industry that can compete with Xbox. And it just
here's I wouldn't say Xbox, it's a Microsoft Game Studios.
Yeah, Microsoft Game Studios, yeah.
Here's where my concerns come in.
Yeah.
In November, okay, Phil Spencer literally told Microsoft staff that he was quote disturbed and deeply troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision Blizzard, and that Microsoft was evaluating all aspects of its relationship with Activision Blizzard to make ongoing proactive adjustments because of all of the shit that came out against Activision Blizzard.
Yep.
So my hope is that regardless of Satya Nadella's, who's a CEO of Microsoft, comments about requiring consistency and walking the walk instead of just talking the talk with Activision Blizzard's changes in the upcoming alterations, I'm hoping that Phil Spencer, being the forthright individual that he is going to step up, step forward, and forcibly ensure that the necessary changes happen not only to protect the employees of Activision Blizzard, who are now part of the Microsoft employee umbrella, but also to ensure that those people who allowed those insidious situations to occur in the first place
Get the axe.
are punished, held accountable, and removed from leadership positions permanently within the industry. I'm hoping that that is what we see. If it's not, I will be significantly disappointed in my previous employer. But I have faith. I have faith that Phil Spencer is going to be consistent and continuous in his messaging and in his attempt to right the wrongs that have happened in the past industry-wide and set a precedence to set a new balance for why we need to integrate I would just say a robust and diverse community of leaders that represent all aspects of gamers from every walk of life. That is something I think we will see. And I hope we will see.
I know we're going to see that.
Trust me, I'll be the first one to start barking about it.
Look,
meantime,
of course.
though,
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you.
I've drank more coffee and now I have to poop again.
I already drank almost this whole monster, and I had advanced GG right when I woke up, so my heart's gonna be racing. I'm gonna be ready for stream today. But you know, this podcast, we had to get it done, guys. We rolled out of bed, and it's funny because DJ literally, he goes, "That's how you rolled out of bed? Fuck you!" Like that's how his response when I got on camera.
I literally sleep in an Astro Camo shirt.
I was in a t-shirt. Look, the t-shirt from yesterday. And I was just like, fuck it. I threw on a hoodie and a beanie.
On, but I was like, I'm putting my contacts on, so we've got some decent continuity.
At least your camera looks good right now. Mine like went burp. But anyway, this Activision thing. So just to go down the line, so everybody is completely aware, anybody who doesn't know who Activision is at this point, or Blizzard. Blizzard is one of my favorite companies, or was until Activision bought them. They had
Blizzard is my favorite form of natural disaster that kills people.
It's frigid. But okay, so we have Overwatch, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo. Those four just in themselves, right?
The Diablo opportunity is going to be incredible.
The Diablo already was amazing. It was better. Oh, look, my camera got better. I talked shit to it. There we go. And my arcades turned on their own.
There you go.
What the hell? Anyway, so besides the point, those four games, those are nominated for so many awards, top 10 picks, best games. Like, those are the ones that made the foundation of so many genres, strategy games, first-person shooters, all these other ones. That's just Blizzard.
Well, they've also got Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk, Spyro, Skylanders,
and then
Hearthstone,
Moon
Heroes
Studios.
of the Storm, Candy Crush.
Well, well, here's this too.
These are all coming.
Well, there's also something else too that I'm going to pull up here because it's actually on the on the announcement today on their Twitter feed. On the future announcement, they actually pulled up, "We're welcome to the incredible teams and legendary franchises of Activision Blizzard of Microsoft Gaming. Creators of Call of Duty, Warcraft, Candy Crush, Tony Hawk, Diablo, Overwatch, Spyro, Hearthstone, Guitar Hero, Crash Bandicoot, StarCraft, and the team." They also, with this buyout, Activision Publishing, Blizzard Entertainment, Beanox, Demonware, Digital Legends, High Moon Studios, Infinity Ward, King, Major League Gaming, Radical Entertainment, Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games, Toys for Bob, Treyarch,
tons of developers,
every
tons of
team, and every team across Activision Blizzard. So that
I would like to just throw this out there. I hope that they put someone from Bungie in charge of Activision.
Oh my God, dude. Well, look, okay, look. So here's the thing. So a lot of you guys know, obviously, I say this every podcast, big Destiny fan, big Halo fan, love those games, both of us do. So High Moon Studios actually worked on Destiny 1 at the end of the transition, and High Moon Studios was amazing. They made some amazing stuff. And then you've got these companies that used to work, but they were pulled out because for a fact, because let's just be real, the CEO of Activision was a total and utter douchebag. Nobody liked him, and there's so many TikTokers and YouTubers that make fun of him in his meetings and everything else that goes on. And you know what? Here's the best part of this whole thing. We don't know his outcome. He's still involved with Activision as of now. But if Microsoft does not get rid of him, it would be the most astronomical dumb decision they could ever do. They need to get him out. Phil Spencer needs to sit down at the table and be like, "Get the fuck out!" And they're gonna sit down. And I actually, for the first time, and I never thought I'd fucking hear myself say this, for the first time, I have hope for Call of Duty now. I truly believe with all the people, the first-person shooter category could do so much better if Call of Duty became good again. Now, if Call of Duty gets a new CEO above it and actually builds out, because I don't think that Microsoft is going to go on that one-year cycle plan like Activision does, pumping out content. Activision was always notorious for content. We want to make money. And so every year they would have this cycling. They would put Sledgehammer, Treyarch, and Infinity Ward all making a cycle of game every single year.
Yeah.
And by doing that, made the content shit.
But at the same time, they did earn their walk-in logo music every time they entered their own offices through their lobby. They got the just desserts.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Look, you know what, though? I want to love Call of Duty again, man. I really do. But I tell people all the time, when I see people making content, I'm like, you were literally making content for a game that is dying, that supports racism and sexism and literally treating women, men, every gender type, sexuality. It doesn't matter what your identity is.
Kotick has to go.
Now that if they go in and Phil Spencer goes, hey, he's gone, there's already an amazing improvement for Activision and Blizzard.
I want a 7-year-old to literally walk across the entire conference table, the entire board of directors there.
You're fired.
And just be like,
hello, motherfucker.
And hand him his end of contract. Like,
literally just goes over, takes a cup of orange juice and goes, fuck you.
That's
Get out. Get out.
Hand him a large, like one of those big styrofoam axes, and he just starts beating him, chasing him.
Next time on your yacht in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
Jesus Christ. No matter what, the guy's rich.
To go to the bathroom so bad. We got to kill this.
Too much coffee. He's got to poop.
Too much coffee. I literally have.
But no, we had to cover this. We had to get it in there.
Yeah, we did.
And we'll talk about this next week. But now we got like a double feature. This podcast is going to be like an hour and 45 minutes. But who gives a shit? It's worth it. We needed to fucking do it.
So good morning, everyone.
Yes.
Welcome. This is what happened the day after we recorded the first section of the podcast. So there you go. The podcast normally drops Thursdays at noon on every podcast service known to mankind, including Cylon Radio.
You know what? I just realized what happened. Betty White went to the afterlife and killed all the demons that were bargaining deals with Activision CEO. So now he fell apart. And Betty White doing good from the afterlife. All right? I'm just saying. Sorry, I had to. Betty White, go Betty White.
Oh, thank you guys for
Why don't
watching.
you just
we'll
be a
see
friend?
you next time live right here on what the fuck? I don't even know what closing I'm doing.
Is it Tuesday? Wednesday? Yeah, I don't even know.
See you next time, Thursday at 12 noon, right here at Pardon the D. Pardon the Distraction. Find out more about us at pardonthedistraction.com. We'll see you next time. I'm DJ Blue PDX here.
I'm the Lost Drake. Love you. Bye.
Bye.